Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor. It's time for more Scuttlebutt. Today I have kind of a bit of a split video for you here. We're kind of celebrating the end of this Puerto Rico event and all the drama that it's caused. I'm showing you guys here the first 4 to 5 minutes are the replay video of Puerto Rico's construction sequence in the dry dock. This is actually a ton of fun to watch, and it's the sort of thing that if you didn't finish the ship, you didn't get to see the entire sequence. And so I wanted to film this and put it out here so that folks could have a look at it, because it is really, really awesome to see the whole thing from start to finish. I can't wait for them to use this again on a ship that everybody can earn and can participate in this event with far less time and effort and drama and screaming and stuff. Later on, this will transition into a game replay of my USS Puerto Rico. It is not my first game since I got the ship, but it is one of the, I don't know, half dozen I've played since I got her. It's not an amazing one. The game itself is not super awesome, but it is a pretty solid one that kind of highlights two things that I really want to everybody remember. Her dispersion is super wonky at times. This is not an Alaska. However, she is still fairly tanky and resilient. The belt armor, the angles, the amount of hit points she has, she can take a bit of a beating. And I think it's something that that definitely is a feather in her cap. Her A is solid. Her handling is perhaps not the best. Anyway, it's an interesting game, so enjoy that when we get there. So what have we got to talk about this week? It has been a busy week-ish, 5-day stretch or so in terms of news, as our Russian office, the St. Petersburg office, is getting kind of back off their holidays. So let's get right to it. Before we get too far down into the weeds of dev blogs and such, I do want to point out to everybody, my birthday stream is coming up this Saturday morning. I haven't decided on a time, but it's probably going to be 9 a.m. Central. I'll probably do a 3 or 4 hour stream there on Saturday morning to celebrate my 42nd birthday. I'll have some giveaways. I'm not sure what. I'm still working on all that. Keep an eye on my Twitter stream. Once I kind of get something ginned up, I'm going to put together a little graphic over there and throw it up and let you guys kind of share that around. And we'll drum up some interest, and we'll just come hang out. I'm not entirely positive what I'm going to do. I might do some spins on the Wheel of Misfortune just for the hell of it. I might do that as a sub reward or a birthday beating kind of thing. I'll figure it out, but it'll be fun. So come on by. I hope to see you on Twitch, and looking forward to that. Dev blogs, tons of stuff to discuss. So I think there's about 5 or 6 of these that have cropped up. It's just literally since last Friday. Scroll down below the video. You'll find all the various links. You can go read for yourselves. I'm going to hit some of the highlights here. First off, a whole ream of balance changes. This is the post that got me really excited. Why? They're buffing Hindenburg. That's right, kids. It's finally happened. If you remember, many moons ago, probably 18 months ago, way back in Clan Battles Season 3 or something, Hindenburg had one solitary, lone, really good Clan Battle season where the ship was relevant and useful and awesome. And following that, it immediately got slapped with the Nerf bat. And then everybody dropped it like a bad habit. Now, there were some other things that caused people to drop it like a bad habit, one of which was the release of the French battleship line, because Republique's 431mm guns do horrible things to this ship. But, cutting her offensive output by 10%, combined with some other things that happened in the meta around the same time, Henri Catherine getting her reload booster and all the other thing, it was Hindenburg, crap. And so you just don't see this ship anymore. They had already made some small progress back. Originally, go way back before all of this, Hindenburg's reload was 10 seconds. Base reload, 10 seconds. They nerfed her to 11 seconds. About 3 to 5, maybe 6 months ago, they buffed her back down to 10.5 seconds. Now they're dropping it to 9.8 seconds. So her base reload time is actually going to be better than it was before all of this train wreck started. And all I can say is, thank God. This ship has been left so far behind in the dust by so many other cruisers that have come out since then. It's embarrassing. And it makes me angry, but I'm glad to see that we're finally making some progress. Is this going to save the ship? Is she going to be amazing? I don't know, probably not, but she'll be a little better, and I can't ever complain about that. Montana's getting a buff. Basically, a while ago, again, 6, 9, 8 months, something like this, all of the American battleships except Montana were buffed so that their repair party consumable repaired more damage than those of other nations. Montana was left in the dust, not touched. Now she is being brought up to the rest of the line. Her restoration of hit points by repair party will increase a little bit, and so those heals will be a little more effective when you play Montana. Tier 7 European Premium Destroyer Bliskavica is getting some quality of life changes. They're kind of buffing her turret angles, her torpedo tube turning angles. These are very minor things. What Bliss really needs, I mean, I still like my Bliss, but what she really needs is a detection buff, right? She needs to be competitive detection-wise. Even the French destroyer at Tier 7 outspots her, and it's not even close. So, yeah, 6.8, I'm sorry, for a Tier 7 destroyer is no longer acceptable. Bliskavica needs to come down into like 6.4, maybe? I could cross my fingers and get like 6.2 or 6.3, but I'd be happy with like 6.4, 6.5. She needs about a, I wouldn't say 10%, about a 7 or 8% detection radius buff, and that's what that ship really needs. Speaking of French destroyers, Tier 9's Mogador, Tier 10's Kleber are getting slapped hard with their Nerf bat. Now, in case of Kleber, I think this is more than warranted. This ship just utterly ruined, in my opinion, the last season of clan battles. However, the nerfs they're making, to some extent, make sense like that. So what they're doing, they're increasing the detectability ranges of both these ships. Surface detection, perfect, makes sense, fine. And aerial detection. I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Okay, so they're buffing the detection. Then they're buffing the firing detection in smoke a little bit. Now, remember, these ships don't come with smoke, so the only reason they're going to be firing out of smoke is if somebody else has laid smoke for them. A friendly Smolensk or a Minotaur or something like this, for example. Could be another destroyer, whatever. And then their torpedo detection is also getting nerfed a little bit. This will give players, if my numbers are right, about a second, 1.2, something like this. I got to run the numbers and check, but it's about a second extra time to react to the torpedoes. Of all of these, like, none of these nerfs bother me all that much. These are really strong ships. However, they get utterly bullied by aircraft carriers. So I don't understand why we're nerfing the aerial detection even further. They're already highly detectable by planes. Like, they have huge aerial detection radiuses, and they're getting worse. These are ships, I fear, that will probably find themselves confined to specific roles in specific modes where you won't see, or you're less likely to see, an aircraft carrier. I will see, for example, ranked in clan battles, I think you'll continue to see Kleber. In randoms, they'll probably start to disappear. That's not really a bad thing, really, but it is out there. Speaking of Henri Catherine, we were talking about her earlier, talking about our Hindenburg conversation. She's getting a weird nerf here. They're changing her engine performance characteristics. Now, I think the intention here is to make her a little less wiggly, a little less dodgy when it comes to incoming fire, because with her speed boost up and her high base speed, she can toggle her throttle. She can play juke her throttle all day long, and makes it very easy for her to dodge shells. They're changing her engine responsiveness to make that more difficult. Okay, all right. So honestly, I have no problem with this. Again, part of this is I have a little bit of a vindictive mindset against this ship because of how retardedly strong it is in clan battles versus like every other heavy cruiser. Like, you look at every other heavy cruiser in the games, like, why would I take that when I can take an Henri? Exactly, right. There's some corner examples, Moskva and Stalingrad, of course, being the obvious examples, but like just about every other tier 10 cruiser is like, nah, I'll just take an Henri. Nah, I'll just take an Henri. It's like, ugh, we got to do something about this ship. So she's getting a little bit of a nerf. I skipped over this one. I'm coming back to it. The last thing they're doing is a mild, and I say mild, very, very mild nerf to Soviet tier 10 battleship Kremlin. A lot of complaints about this ship, how hard it is to kill, how effective its guns are, how ridiculous its armor scheme is. Out of all of that, what are they doing? They're nerfing the health of her AA mounts. Okay, kids, whatever. Moving on. There's a post in here about premium ship recovery. If you own a lot of the old, or you currently own all the old ARP ship skins, the 17 Miyokos and 47 Congos you could get, eventually what's going to happen is those are all going to become camos or skins or something, and you can just pick that version you want to make the ship look like the ARP version you'd rather play. Same with the Eastern and Southern Dragon camos for Miyoko. Now, what the reason for this post is if you've sold these ships, if they're gone out of your port or whatever, you can contact, reminding you can contact customer service and file a ticket and probably get them back so you can get those looks back. British heavy cruisers still in testing. They will start arriving. The pre-releases start arriving this week when 0.9.0 drops on Wednesday here on NA, or Thursday if you're on EU. Some of these ships, basically almost everybody's getting their reload speed buffed across the board. That's a good thing. I mean, I played a game in Cheshire last week on stream that was just, the 15-second reload was just bloody painful. With those 6 barrels, ugh. So, she's now, like, for example, she's now 13 seconds. All right, that starts to feel a little better. So we'll give that a go. The only one that's getting nerfed here is Tier 9's HMS Drake. I find this a little baffling, but the consensus I'm reading from a lot of people is that this ship was actually better than Goliath. I don't know that I actually agree with that, but it certainly wasn't a bad ship. So if she's getting a little bit of a nerf, okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Anyways, you can have a look at that down below. More details have been released on the second half of the British Cruiser event, so we're looking ahead now to update 0.9.1. This is coming probably February, mid-February. That's all been announced along with a new unique British commander that will be joining the Dunkirk brothers. This same post also announced that next season of Ranked will begin in late February. We'll be back to Tier 9. Oh, yes. Will we have carriers again? Yay. And go back to the arms race format. That's a good thing. I'm excited to see arms race coming back. However, several CCs have kind of pointed out there's some perils here. We've never played carriers in an arms race season, arms race format, ever before. The buffs are being tweaked and changed a little bit to include carriers and how they work. So some of these buffs will now extend to your squadrons, but none of these buffs touches a ship's AA. That feels a little bad because, like, the planes are going to get more health, the planes are going to get faster, the planes are going to have health regeneration, and like baked into them, and my AA is not going to get any stronger. In fact, as the course of the game goes on, my A is going to get weaker because it's getting blown up. This feels terrible. So we're going to have to see. Like, I'm very cautious about this. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea. They also announced a new map in that post called North Waters. This map doesn't excite me very much. It looks like they kind of took, like, Loop, like the center cap of Loop, and broke it up a little bit and did something. It doesn't look all that inspiring. I don't know. We'll see. It just looks kind of fairly boring and plain. But maybe they have some plans for this map that aren't yet released yet. We'll just kind of see how it goes. A different post talked about the new European destroyer line. They've been internally testing these. There's some tweaks coming to those. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about those. You'll have to go down and read the post, but because these ships aren't even on live yet. So changes they've been talking about are just like, we haven't even seen them yet, so whatever. But have a look if you're interested. The two last ones are the big ones. They announced Clan Battle Season 8 beginning next Wednesday, the 22nd of January, running through Sunday, the 8th of March. There are some very, very bizarre changes to the season, all right? So buckle up. Here we go. Map rotation. Hotspot, Sea of Fortune, Tears of the Desert, Crash Zone Alpha, Mountain Range, Land of Fire, and North. All of these are maps that we've played in Clan Battles before, so none of these maps are new to Clan Battles veterans. Now, they are going back to the kind of somewhat older cap configuration on Sea of Fortune, where the A and the B cap are overlapped kind of in the center of the map. That's interesting to see. What the big change really is that 3 of these maps, Mountain Range, Land of Fire, and North, are guaranteed to have a cyclone. However, this cyclone is a little different from those in randoms. The detection cap will not be 8 kilometers as it is in randoms. Here in Clan Battles, it will be 12 kilometers. The timing of the cyclone is the same. You'll get an announcement a couple minutes in. It'll start 5 minutes, a few minutes later. It takes about 60 seconds or so for the weather to set in, and then it lasts like 5 or 6 minutes, and then it all kind of, goes back to the way it was. I don't know what they're doing here. I won't pretend that I understand this, guys. Like cyclones in random battles, everybody's kind of like, whatever, right? But in every competitive mode, ever, we turn these off. We don't want them. Like, it's the random and everything is just bizarre. And now we're entering a meta where, like, you'll know when you load the map, okay, I'm going to have to deal with this. But you won't be able to adapt your team composition to the map, and obviously after you load into the game. So you basically have to play each team lineup with the assumption that I'm going into a cyclone, like every game. You just don't know. And you have to have a plan because on these 3 maps, you will see a cyclone every single game. Uh, I'm not excited about this. I'm not excited about this. I'm prepared to be wrong. I've been wrong before. It will not be the first time, but I'm not excited about this. Lastly, major changes announced to the upgrade system. Huge, like this is sweeping, and this is long overdue. The last major change we had to the standard regular upgrades was in update 0.5.7, 3.5 years ago. I mean, they've added special and unique upgrades since then, but the base selection of ship upgrades has been unaltered for like far too long, especially given all of the changes that have come to the game since then. I'm not going to read through all these. You need to go read the post and kind of educate yourself. They're basically adding looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 brand new upgrades. And they're making changes to, it looks like, 4 others. And then all of the special upgrades, that's the defensive fire upgrade, the hydroacoustic search upgrade, the surveillance radar upgrade, the smoke upgrade, and the damage control party upgrade are having all of their tier and class restrictions removed. So you'll be able to play the radar upgrade on like a Belfast or something if you have one, or an Atlanta, which right now you can't do that. Soon you will be able to. So they're kind of increasing the value and the desirableness of some of those upgrades on some of the low to mid-tier ships, which will be interesting to see. There are some really good ones that they're changing around in here. They're removing some and and replacing them with new ones. So you definitely need to go kind of educate yourself here. But I think these are going to be good. I'm really curious to try them out and once we get to testing. So, enough dev blog stuff. What else is going on? Well, of course, update 9.0 drops this week on NA. Oh, drops globally, I should say. You're looking at the first major patch of 2020. So, 9.0 bringing us the pre-release event for the British Heavy Cruiser line. As has become standard, they'll have a token system where you earn these tokens through dailies and directives and so on and so forth, and you get some for just logging in, and then you can spend them on little crates. The crates might have a mission in it that gives you the opportunity to earn the ship early. In other words, to kind of spread out where everybody starts in the line so that everybody's not down at tier 5 already. Just everybody, thousands and thousands of players playing the same bloody ship. This allows them to kind of shotgun start people in the line. That's a good thing. It's worked out in the previous releases, and they're just going to keep doing it. I'm looking forward to these ships. There's a lot of folks, a lot of the CCs are kind of fair to middle end, mediocre on these things. I enjoy them. I enjoy them because they give you the HE shell performance of a Japanese cruiser. You don't have the accuracy, but you have more survivability and you have more tools at your disposal. Their AA tends to be better, so you can get more work out of the defensive fire than you do out of a Japanese cruiser. Or you can take Hydro if you want it. Plus, they've got better, if approximately similar, if not better, stealth than some of the Japanese heavy cruisers. Certainly at tier 7 and 8. And like Surrey at tier 7 is just honestly a little silly. I love that ship in her current configuration. And I really think Albemarle at tier 8 is also a pretty good little boat. I'm struggling with the tier 9 and 10 ships, just because I feel like the reload on those guns is too punishing. Like, I take an 8-inch gun and now I'm running a 9.1-inch gun. Why does my reload get monstrously slower? What's the deal with this? But that's how Drake and Goliath are designed, and I don't fully understand that thought process. They're not bad ships. I don't quite understand them. So for me, like the tier 5, 6, 7, and 8 ships are the fun ones in the line to play. I've really struggled with the 9 and 10. I've had decent games in both ships, but I kind of like, I don't know that I'd reach for them at tier 9 and 10 over another tier 9 or 10 cruiser. Whereas at tier 8 or like tier 7, yeah, I'll Surrey and Albemarle and Devonshire will absolutely make their way into my regular play rotation in the mid tiers because they're good boats. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all we've got to talk about this week. Again, a quick friendly reminder, drop by on Saturday and catch the birthday stream. If not, I am back on my regular schedule. Tuesday nights, the new expanded Thursday night schedule, also working out. I'll definitely be doing boats this week because of the new patch. And then next week, I'm going to try and expand into, I don't know, Civilization or something. I'll figure it out. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good year. Hope everybody managed to earn their Puerto Rico that was trying it. Passing note that I want to mention here as we talk about Puerto Rico for, dear God, I hope it is the last time. One of the things that I said in my little kind of PR video a while ago was, if you don't believe in this event, the worst thing you can do is play the directives and spend money on it. And actually, kind of the directives thing, I could take or leave, right? That's free. You're getting free stuff whether you participate or not. So okay, fine. But for God's sake, don't spend doubloons on this if you think it's being exploitative and it's too much and all the rest of that stuff. The only reason I spent doubloons on this is because they bloody gave us the doubloons to spend. If they hadn't, I wouldn't have spent any doubloons on this. I don't think this ship is worth it. And so I just want to reiterate that, guys. Like, it's too late. If you've spent doubloons on it, you know, whatever. I can't take it back. But guys, keep in mind in the future, if Wargaming creates an event like this that is kind of blatantly disrespectful to the player base, let's say, and then you turn around and spend money on it, you're just encouraging the behavior. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, it's just not. Please don't. You're doing everyone a disservice. And that's where I'll just leave it. And hopefully we won't see this again. But I fear, based on the number of Puerto Ricos I see running around, I fear that we will. So I just hope that the next time we see this event, that it is designed in a better and more respectful fashion to the community. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for the week. Be safe out there, and I'll catch you next time.